Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be taking a deep dive into something I think a lot of our listeners can relate to.
Oh, yeah.
Loss and grief, and how people cope with it.
Heavy stuff,
Yeah,
but important.
you got it. And we're going to be looking at it through the lens of
Music.
music, exactly. We're going to be dissecting some powerful lyrics that just lay bare the raw emotions of loss, grief, searching for hope, all of that.
Yeah. You know, music is such a powerful medium for that kind of
Expression.
expression.
Yeah.
Totally. When words aren't enough, music can often bridge that gap.
Absolutely. And the song we're diving into today doesn't hold back. The artist really pours their heart out about losing two brothers in a very short span of time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Right at the beginning, they say, I lost my brothers back to back. It broke my heart. 3 weeks apart. They really died in a row. Just like punches you in the gut, you know?
Yeah, I can only imagine. Losing a loved one is never easy, but losing two so close together, that's a whole other level of grief. And the way they repeat those phrases back to back, 3 weeks apart, in a row, it just amplifies the rawness of the pain, doesn't it?
It totally does. It's like they're stuck in this loop, reliving the shock and the disbelief over and over again.
It makes me think of when I lost my grandmother. It was sudden and unexpected, and for the longest time I felt completely unmoored, like the world had shifted on its axis and I was struggling to find my footing. Have you ever experienced anything like that, where grief just kind of knocks you sideways?
I think most of us have, in one way or another. It's that feeling of being totally disoriented, like you've lost your compass.
Exactly. And in the song, the artist starts talking about how they're coping with this intense grief. They say, I get so high because I'm low. What do you make of that?
On the surface, it seems like they're talking about using substances to numb the pain.
Which is a common coping mechanism, right? Especially when the pain feels too overwhelming to bear.
Right. But it could also be a way of expressing the intensity of their emotions, like the highs and lows of substance use mirroring the internal turmoil they're going through.
That's an interesting interpretation. It's like they're trying to externalize their internal state, find some sort of parallel in the outside world.
Exactly. And later on, they talk about trying to find my way out the streets, trying to find my way to some peace. It seems like there's a yearning for escape, a desire to transcend the pain and find some semblance of calm.
Makes sense. When you're in the depths of grief, it's natural to look for anything that can offer a reprieve, even if it's just temporary.
Totally. But then they say something that seems to contradict that need for escape. They say, I know you hurt, but you're strong, did all this work on your own. There's a sense of fierce independence there, like they're pushing back against relying on others for support.
That is interesting. It seems like they're acknowledging the strength it takes to go through something like this, but also maybe a little bitterness toward those who weren't there for them.
Yeah, it's like they're saying, look, I've been through hell and back, and I did it on my own.
They do say they trying to eat from your fruits. They couldn't pick up the phone, which seems to support that idea that they felt let down by some people.
For sure. But then there's this glimmer of support from an unexpected source. They say, Granny says she loved me because my heart is filled with gold. It's like, even in the midst of all this pain, there's this unconditional love from their grandmother that shines through.
That's so powerful. It shows that even just one person who truly sees and loves you can make all the difference. That kind of support can be a lifeline when you're drowning in grief.
Absolutely. It's that sense of being understood and accepted, even when you feel broken.
Exactly. And then there's this really profound moment where they talk about legacy. They say they got to live through these songs, can't let them fade out. It's like they're turning their pain into art, using music to keep their brother's memory alive.
It's a beautiful way of honoring them, isn't it?
Totally. And it also speaks to the power of art as a way to process grief, to find meaning in loss, and to connect with others who might be going through similar experiences.
And it makes me wonder, what kind of legacy do we all want to leave behind? What will people remember us for?
It's a big question, isn't it? And this song really forces us to confront it head on.
This whole song is such a powerful exploration of grief and resilience. It's raw, it's honest, and it's ultimately hopeful.
What resonates most with me is how it reminds us that we're not alone in these experiences. Grief is universal, but the way we navigate it is deeply personal.
And sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is express it, share it, and find connection through it. Just like this artist has done with their music.
I think you hit the nail on the head. So for all of you listening, take a moment to reflect on your own experiences with grief and resilience. How have you found strength in difficult times? What legacy do you hope to leave behind? It's something we all grapple with, and it's a conversation worth having.
Well said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Until next time.